Well, if you're new to Bakersfield or if you've grown up here your entire life, you know two things. Lunch and Luigi's go together. There's a lot of people waiting out here today because it's a popular place. It's been around in Bakersfield for more than 100 years. And we're going to get the behind-the-scenes look at all that goes into Luigi's. Let's go inside. Hey, Gino.
What's happening, Tim?
Thanks for having us inside.
How you doing?
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
You know, this restaurant is so special to a lot of people who live in Bakersfield. Tell me a little bit about the success you guys have had and what you think has really stuck with people in this
I
community.
think it started 105 years ago. So I know my great-grandparents were hard workers. Obviously I knew my grandfather for a long time, and he was always down here. Loved it. It was in his blood to cook and make people happy.
Now, a big part of Gino Valprado's life, who's in charge of keeping the business his relatives started near the turn of the century thriving. But to understand the popular Bakersfield landmark, you need to know its history. Back in 1906, Joe and Amelia Lamucci, who immigrated from Lucca, Italy, started the small delicatessen in Old Town Kern. Later, passing it on to their son Louis, or Luigi as he was called, Luigi then passing his nickname on to the business. When Luigi passed away in 1989, a new generation of Italian heritage began with the Valprados.
This deli actual area is the original part.
Gino took me on a tour of the restaurant, beginning in the deli, which boasts some of the best meats and cheeses you can find anywhere. But what they're best known for,
I mean, our meat sauce is probably our most famous thing about the entire business. We sell more than that and serve more of that than anything in the restaurant.
still following the century-old recipe, producing anywhere from 20 to 40 gallons a day.
Lots of great Italian wines.
Also popular, Luigi's wine selection. To celebrate their 100th anniversary in 2010, Luigi's created their own wine blend from Napa Valley.
The original vintage was an 07, so now we're on to, I think this is the 12. So we've done a few things, different wines in between.
But the most interesting part of the deli is what lies beneath.
I don't know if we want to go down here, but
That's fine.
so.
No, sure.
Gino taking us to the basement where his great-grandfather would cure salami and make wine.
This is where it all used to happen. This was an actual, when they say an ice box, this is where they get the ice.
During the 1920s, though, he made other products that were less than legal at the time.
Yeah, a few other things were made down here.
Once we came above ground, Gino took us to what is now their prepping room. For his grandfather, this room, though, is where it all began.
This small little room, and this is also where I was telling you where my grandfather was born, in this back room.
And next to that room, a bustling kitchen. Expanded over the years, the place where cooks create some of Luigi's favorite menu items, from the famous New York steak and pasta to their slow-cooked ribs on Friday and Saturday.
So at one point it was just this tiny little area where Patty's stand in. This was the only section.
Within reach is Luigi's bar.
We have a lot of the oldest pictures in here. Pictures from, I think, 1912.
Added in the 1940s. The walls covered with black and white photos. Gino's grandfather, an avid sports collector, those pictures spill into the next room.
So this is where everybody usually comes in, checks in here.
And there's more pictures in the main dining room, added a few decades later in the 70s. And there's now the patio, perhaps the most popular place to enjoy a Luigi's meal, the outside bar added 5 years ago.
I think my dad came up with a great idea. Let's move the bathrooms, because the things that we always hear we need to fix were more space at the bar, more space in the restrooms, and parking. So we fixed 2 out of 3. Parking's still the issue. We'll work on that someday.
Parking may be difficult for customers, but it doesn't stop them from getting here. Just 30 minutes after our interview with Gina, it's full of customers.
Mind if I join you here?
Like Jan Hensley,
I think I picked the right table. You guys have a full bottle of red wine
who
here.
made a special trip from Pismo to enjoy what Luigi's has to offer.
Yeah, I had my birthday celebration here 2 weeks ago, and I'm back from Pismo again.
Nice.
And then there's Ken Shanley, who's celebrating his 74th birthday.
It's a destination place for us. We've always come here.
And no matter who you talk to,
You always see people that you know.
you get a similar response.
There's just no place like Luigi's in town.
Have to go to Luigi's. It's one of our favorites.
A restaurant standing the test of time, made right here in Kern County.
Luigi's made in Kern County. Woo!